Right, we are going to add 4 little circles into the center. These are on page 8, and then we're going to array the hour markers around the sort of perimeter of the face, and they are all going to orientate themselves to the center automatically. So let's start by using the circle tool. That's on the home tab. So click on the circle. This is the center radius one that we're going to select, and just make sure you hover over the sort of side of this. These snap settings work. If I was too close to the center and I couldn't see the outside edge, it's not going to pick up that snap center point. And don't go just clicking, because you might think you're close to it, but when you zoom right in, you'll realize that you're not. So to find that center point, just go to the side, it picks it up, and it could be either of these circles. They both have the same center point. Then we can click, and the radius for the first one is 0.5, so enter. And then the second one, we can either right click repeat circle, or recent input, the little circle will be there, or we could hit enter, or we could choose the icon again. So whichever method you prefer. It's 2.5, enter. Now I'm just going to hit enter this time. That's going to call up the previous command, and that circle snap is already selected, so I can just left mouse click, and 2.75, enter, then hit enter again, and that snap set is already set again. Just left click to start, and then 3, enter. And those are the 3 circles, the 4 circles that we've created. So now we need to put the 12 o'clock marker in, and that's going to be arrayed around the center point. So we'll choose the rectangle tool. We can also type in REC, that would get the rectangle tool as well. The first corner point is 99,130, so 99,130, enter. And then the size of it is going to be 2 across in the X direction, comma 8 up in the Y direction. So 2 across, 8 up. So with this selected, we're now going to go to the array command. We've got rectangular, path, and polar arrays. We'll click on the polar array function, and we will come down to specify the center of the array, which is going to be that center point there. So click. This then gives us the array creation context ribbon, and rotate items. So if the items are unrotated, then they will just follow the same orientation as the original one. So rotate items means that as they're being spun around this center point, they're all going to sort of face in a similar direction. The number that we want, as it says 12 hours in half a day, is 12, and that's given us the 12. Now we've got a couple of grips on these, and I'll show you what they mean in a second. So I'll just hit enter to exit. And what we can do with these grips, because this thing is associated, then if I was to sort of move the angle between each of these things, you notice that the 12 items kind of bunch up together. Okay, that's changing the angle between each item. Alternatively, I can move this one, so this creates the array again to behave in a uniform sort of fashion. So what I do to one happens to the rest of them. So I'll just use escape to get out of that. Now we're going to put in the hands, and we've got a minute hand and an hour hand, and they are located on the W drive in the AutoCAD support folder in the student EC section, and AutoCAD blocks, and then you've got hour hand and minute hand. Okay, so go to the insert option, either on the home tab, you've got the insert panel, sorry, the block panel with insert in it, or you can go to the insert tab itself, and there's another block panel there with pretty much the same stuff on there. So either way, alternatively, we can click I on the keyboard and enter, and that brings up the insert tab as well. Now I've already preloaded this, but you would browse till you found the hour and the minute hands. Choose the hour hand first, and then click open. And we want to not specify the scale on screen. We'll leave the scale as that. Uniform scale is ticked, so 1, 1, 1. Rotation we will specify on screen. The insertion point we will also specify on screen, and we will not explode it. make sure the units are millimeters. If you're seeing anything different from that, it's probably because you're set to an imperial template, so something's not quite right somewhere. So I'm going to click OK. Now I've got this blocks redefine block because I've just loaded it up earlier on. I'm reloading it, so I'll just say redefine, and this is what I get. And I click to the center point, and then it allows me then to rotate around. So again, pick a spot, and I'll choose that one, and then I go to insert again. Now what's happened there, this is a new sort of thing to 2015. I click on insert, this is the option I've got, so I get a little sort of display of the objects that I can insert, or more options. Okay, now I'm not sure whether that happens on the home tab. If I went to insert, yes, so more options, and this gives us the insert dialog box again, so we browse again and minute hand this time. Okay, leave those settings as they were, okay, and then click to the center point again and move that around to a different location. So I've got 10, 2, so it's really around about sort of there, isn't it? So I'll just do it like that so it looks a bit different. I could reposition this, because if that's at nearly 1/4 then this would be sort of up there or down here somewhere. So if I click on this grip, these little square things, that's a grip that sort of is the insert point of this block. If I click on that, now at the moment I've got to move it. If I tap the space bar once, then that's just the move command, so I haven't really done anything else. If I tap the space bar a second time, it gives me the option to rotate. Okay, so really as it's 1/4, it should be about up there somewhere. Okay, so that's a bit more realistic as far as a time goes. And the next bit is to put in the day-date bezel or bezel, depends on how you pronounce it, which is going to kind of sit in this area. It's going to straddle this. So we've got a bit of trimming to do. We'll delete one of these things. That means we have to explode this array, and we'll put another rectangle in. Okay, so we'll do all that in the next video.